everyone. Welcome to No Doubts, Just Travel. This is my first YouTube video. Now, I am not a cruise vlogger, I am a travel vlogger, but my first video just happens to be about cruising. It is the first big trip I took since the pandemic started. So, what was it like cruising during the pandemic? Now, I took the cruise in December, and that was the height of the Omicron variant. So things were looking a little bleak. Now, I did book the cruise in July, and that's when things were starting to look better. Cases were going down. So we thought, okay, it may be safe to book a cruise during Christmas. Um, as we got closer to the date, I still was very hesitant because the numbers were going back up. But I took the chance and I went, and I'm glad I did. So before boarding, Royal Caribbean required everyone to be vaccinated except for children under 12. You also had to take either the PCR or the antigen test no more than 2 days before the cruise and present negative test results in order to cruise. And you also had to upload your vaccination, proof of vaccination card to the Royal Caribbean website to check in. That was part of their check-in procedure. You also had to download their app. So at first, I didn't want to download the RC app, but it came in handy. Each day, you would see a list of all the events on board the ship in the daily planner. You also had your own personal calendar where you could add any event you wanted to attend. And the cool part, you would get a notification 15 minutes before the event started as a reminder. Also, you had access to your onboard account so you can keep track of all your expenses. This helped me a lot because there was some charges on my account that I didn't make. So definitely watch out for this when you're cruising. So boarding. So this was my first time cruising with Royal Caribbean. I normally cruise with Carnival. I think I've done maybe about 6 or 7 cruises with Carnival, and then I've done 1 cruise with Norwegian. So I'm just hopping around ships, just seeing which one I like the best. Part of the check-in procedure for Royal Caribbean was to download their app, choose a check-in time. By the time I started my check-in procedure, the earliest time that was available was 12. But my parents also was on this cruise with me, and their check-in time was 11:30. So I thought I would just tag along with them and check in with them. So we got to the cruise terminal to check in with Royal Caribbean, and they didn't let anyone into the building until 11:30. And then you got to go in. You went to the check desk, and you gave them your passport and all the information, and they gave you your card. It was exciting. You're thinking, yay, you're about to board the ship. No. You had to sit down in the terminal waiting room, and we sat there almost until 1 o'clock until they let everyone in. So I'm thinking, okay, they have the check-in times to be safe, to make sure there's not a large crowd gathering. They said if you come early, you would be turned away. So here we are, 11:30, thinking, okay, everything's fine. 12:30 comes, there's more and more people in this waiting room now, and it's getting really crowded. And then 1 o'clock comes, and then finally they let us on board. So we never knew the reason why, and they never let us actually onto the ship until 1 o'clock. We never found out. But somebody knows, let me know, because I'm curious. So we finally got on board. And then, guess what? Couldn't go to our rooms yet. We had to do the muster drill, which they did practice social distancing, I guess. I mean, not a lot of people were following the rules. You were supposed to come and do your muster drill as soon as you got on board, or within a certain amount of time. But I heard over the announcements they kept calling people and calling people, telling them to come to the muster drill. So after the muster drill, I thought, okay, fine, I get to go to my room. No, they had people like just posted throughout the ship saying, no, sorry, you can't go to your room. Why don't you go get something to eat? So we went to get something to eat. And I'm not a light packer, unfortunately. So I had my heavy tote bag with me, and I'm carrying this around like, I'm tired. I just want to go to my room, take a shower, and just chill for a bit. There you are, Jewel of the Seas. Have quite a bit of people waiting to get into their rooms. It's been 2 hours. It is decorated very beautifully for Christmas, I will say that. So finally our rooms were ready at 4 o'clock, and we finally got to go in. And then the fun part, luggage. Where's my luggage? So I'm seeing quite a few people. They have their luggage in front of their door that is being delivered. So I don't know, something just told me, let me go walk around. And I found my luggage sitting in a hallway way down from my room. So it just seems like, I don't know if it's due to lack of employees on the ship, but it just seems like they kind of gave up halfway with the luggage. And the same thing happened to my mom. Another part of their safety protocol that Royal Caribbean required all unvaccinated guests to book an excursion with Royal Caribbean. Otherwise, they couldn't leave the ship. So I'm not sure how close they followed this protocol because, of course, no one in my party was unvaccinated. They did give everyone these purple bands to wear on their wrist to show that they were vaccinated. So, going on board, I'm assuming, okay, that's going to be most of the children under 12. But I saw quite a few adults without this purple band on their wrist. And I'm thinking, how could they have gotten on the ship and not be vaccinated? So I guess that's some loophole that some people got around. I'm not sure. I'm never one of those people that's in the loop. RC did well with trying to keep vaccinated and unvaccinated guests separate in main areas like the Coral Theater. Also, there were certain places unvaccinated guests couldn't go to, like the Vortex nightclub. They did well with encouraging people to keep their mask on when they weren't actively eating and sitting. But as you can see from this video, there were some confirmed cases. You can see the crew and their protective gear removing luggage from someone's room. Everyone's luggage is out because it is the last night. I know that they had rooms reserved for people who may be positive for COVID on deck 4 near their main dining room. I don't know how it was with Royal Caribbean before, but in the Windjammer, that's the buffet area. The employees served everyone's food. And I know this is probably not the norm. It's just one of their safety protocols. My parents did cruise with me in October, and they said that they were able to fix their own food at the buffet. So I guess that's just a Royal Caribbean thing. There was some positive and negatives to this. Let's start with the positive. The positive, you would think, oh, good. Germs aren't getting into the food because not just every random person is fixing their meals. The negative, there was a long wait to get your food. Also, there would be really rude people who would just jump in front of you. So, I think since the pandemic, a lot of people have forgotten their manners. And also, you would think it would be safe, but for some reason, when certain people were telling the crew what they wanted, they would actually go under the glass, point their finger right over the food. And I'm like, that really defeats the purpose. So let's rewind and let's talk about the shore excursion. So I did book a shore excursion with Royal Caribbean. I usually use a third party because they're cheaper, and I'm a traveler on a budget. So I like to save money whenever I can. But this time I didn't because I just didn't want any issues to, you know, come up. Um, the first excursion we booked was the Sea World Explorer. And it was, I believe, we went on at 9:30, so it was really early in the morning. And we were so fortunate. There were only two other groups with us. It was a family of five, and then a family of four, and then a couple, and then just myself and my parents. So, as you can see in the video, how empty the Sea Explorer was. So I'm thinking, okay, they didn't allow many people to book the excursion. That was my thought. But then we were also docked with another ship. I can't remember the name of the ship, but they had their group excursion after us, and that group was completely filled. Well, that wraps up my first YouTube video. If you made it this far, that means you watched to the end. I want to say thank you for supporting me. Hopefully you liked the video. And if you did, please subscribe to see more videos in the future. Well, until then, bon voyage.